Hello, and welcome to Penn State, virtually at least. My name is Burt McBrayer. I'm the Director of Admissions Services and Evaluation in the Undergraduate Admissions Office at the University Park campus, and I'd like to take this time to welcome you. We wish you could be with us on campus, but in lieu of an actual on-campus visitation, I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about the application process when it comes to submitting and completing your application to attend Penn State. The first thing you need to know is that there are actually three different ways to apply to Penn State. Admissions.psu.edu is our online home for all things undergraduate admissions at Penn State. We have an application platform there. It's our homegrown application. It's been around for many years. So you can apply via that method. Or we are also part of the Common application at commonapp.org or the Coalition application at mycoalition.org. All three are equal ways to apply to the university. There is no one preferred method over the other. What I typically tell students is that if you are applying to 5 or 6 institutions and they all happen to be part of the Common application, then that's probably the one that makes the most sense for you to use. But any of the three are suitable for our purposes. In fact, when a student submits an application and it comes into our systems, we can't really tell without digging really deep into the application itself. We can't tell what method they used to apply. So all application platforms are treated equally, and we really don't have a preference in terms of what platform you use. So in the application process, it's important to remember that Penn State has 20 unique campuses across the state of Pennsylvania. We truly are one university geographically dispersed. And regardless of the campus to which you're applying, you'd use that one undergraduate application to submit to whichever campus it is you want to attend. For a frame of reference, this is what the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania looks like. Here at the University Park campus, we're located centrally in the heart of Pennsylvania. But as you can see, there are 19 other what we call Commonwealth campuses around the state of Pennsylvania. Most of our programs at the university can be started at any campus within the university system and completed at either the campus where you've started or another campus. And I'll talk more about the different options that students have here in just a minute. But one thing to note as you're looking at this map of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the campuses that have the little orange or red monopoly houses are the campuses that have on-campus housing. It's university owned and operated. At the University Park campus in central Pennsylvania and at the Barron campus in Erie, Pennsylvania, in the northwest corner, housing is both guaranteed and required for all first-year students at the university. The other campuses that have the orange houses, on-campus housing is optional, and it's on a first-come, first-served basis. So it's not required for students to live on campus, but they have that as an option. For our campuses that just have the kind of the standard blue dot, those are campuses that don't have university-owned housing. But for example, at the Wilkes-Barre campus, there is student housing just across the street from the campus that's privately owned. So there's lots of different options when it comes to students choosing campuses at the university. Some students are looking for a more urban setting, so you might be interested in the Abington campus just outside of the city of Philadelphia, or a more rural setting. There's lots of campuses. The Fayette campus in southwestern Pennsylvania, for example, has a more rural setting. So lots of different options for students to choose from. So back to the admissions process. In terms of a timeline, what kinds of things should you be expecting? Well, on August 1st of a student's senior year, that's when the application for admission will go live in those 3 application platforms that I mentioned earlier, the My Penn State application, the Common application, and the Coalition application. So if you're looking to apply for the summer or fall terms after your graduating senior year, August 1st is when you'd be looking to start to that application process. We encourage students to complete their application as soon as possible. And I'll talk a little bit more about what a completed application is in just a minute. But on October 1st, we'll start to make some admission decisions, primarily for those students who have chosen one of our Commonwealth campuses as their first choice. November 1st is our early action deadline That's the time that you would want to complete your application if you want the best shot at your first choice campus and program. Typically, students who are looking for the University Park campus would want to have their application completed by that November 1st early action deadline. For early action applicants, those students who completed their application by November 1st, we guarantee that you would have an admission decision by December 24th of your senior year. So going into your winter break, you would know what the admission decision is for us at Penn State. And just for your reference, an admission decision at Penn State is an admit, a deny, or a defer decision. There are some students who we would say, well, our decision is to move you into the next pool of applicants we're reviewing after the winter break in January. But most students receive that decision of admit or deny by December 24th. And then May 1st is what's called National College Acceptance Day. That's the date by which you have had your admission decision. Let's assume for now that you've all been admitted to Penn State. You would have till May 1st to make a decision on whether or not you want to attend Penn State or whether you would like to go to a different institution. So as you're thinking about the application itself, there's a couple of considerations that you'll be making throughout the process. First, you're going to choose your academic program. Penn State has over 275 different majors to choose from. Really runs the gamut, everything under the sun that students are interested in pursuing as careers. In most cases, Penn State has a degree program that is something you can do at Penn State. So after you choose your program, then you're going to choose the campus you want to attend. The program that you've chosen will sometimes dictate which campus you might be thinking about, because, for example, plastics engineering is a program that's only available at the Penn State Erie campus. So that's where you would be completing your degree. So there's lots of different programs that are unique, but there's also lots of programs that, English or psychology or biology that are a little more common that are available at more of our campuses. If you're thinking about the University Park campus, you're going to want to think about the summer session. Summer session is a 6-week term prior to the fall term, between your senior year and your fall semester at the University Park campus, where we invite students to come to the University Park campus and take 2 classes that are in a cohort together, a cohort of about 25 to 35 students who are taking the same 2 classes together through our Learning Edge academic program. The admission to the summer term is not as competitive as it is for the fall semester at University Park. So students who want to optimize their chances of being admitted to University Park would want to select yes to that summer session option on the application. And then finally, our 2+2 plan. I mentioned this earlier with 20 undergraduate campuses around the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. There's lots of flexible options when it comes to campus setting as well as academic program. 2+2 is Penn State's plan. It's somewhat unique in the realm of higher education, where a student can start their Penn State degree at any one of our Commonwealth campuses across the state of Pennsylvania, do 2 years at that campus, and then complete the final 2 years of their degree at a different campus. Now, in many cases, students are starting at one of our Commonwealth campuses and then completing their degree at the University Park campus. But I mentioned just a moment ago the plastics engineering major at the Penn State Erie campus. Students could start at the Du Bois campus, do 2 years there, and then complete their plastics engineering degree at the Penn State Erie campus. So 2+2 is all about flexibility and where students want to start and complete their degree. Of course, you can also do all 4 years at one campus as well. There's lots of different options to choose from as you're looking at your degree programs. So within the application process itself, once you submit your application, or actually even before you submit your application, you can create what's called a My Penn State profile. And that's going to be kind of your landing page for all things Penn State, your portal, if you will. Within your My Penn State profile, you'll be able to apply for admission. You can use our transfer credit tool to see if you're taking dual enrollment coursework while you're in high school at a local college or community college. You can see how those credits might transfer, AP exam scores, those kinds of things. And throughout your My Penn State profile, you're going to have your checklist for your application process. So you can kind of be kept up to date as you go through the application process. SAT or ACT scores is a factor in the application process. Beginning with the summer and fall 2021 application terms, Penn State has become test optional. So throughout the application process, you'll be asked a question whether or not you want to use SAT or ACT exam scores as part of the evaluation of your application. Based on your answer to that question, SAT or ACT scores will show up as a checklist in your My Penn State profile as part of the application process. If you indicate that you do not want to have test scores used in your application process, then you would not see that as a checklist item. However, what everyone will see as a checklist item in their My Penn State profile is your self-reported academic record, or SRAR. The self-reported academic record is your opportunity to show us what kind of a student you have been in high school. So you'll be able to fill out your self-reported academic record based on what your high school transcript looks like. And so what I always encourage students to do is to sit down with a printout of their high school transcript, or perhaps you've got your online portal from your high school open on a computer monitor next to you, and you're just reporting exactly what you see on your transcript into your self-reported academic record. There's lots of different ways to report courses. So for example, if you've taken honors courses or AP courses in high school, you'll be able to indicate that information on the self-reported academic record. And then of course, at the end of the process, if you decide to attend Penn State, you'll be required to send us a final high school transcript. And that's when we'll validate what you had reported in your SRAR as to in comparison to what's actually on your high school transcript. So we would definitely follow up and check that information that you had submitted. And then the last part of the process, obviously, is to submit the online application through one of those three platforms that I spoke about earlier. So I was talking a little bit about the kind of the academics and submitting your self-reported academic record and SAT or ACT exam scores. If you want to estimate your eligibility, this is the information you'd want to kind of be looking at. Now, for the University Park campus, you can see for the middle 50% of students who were admitted last year, the range was between a 3.55 and a 3.90 GPA on a 4.0 scale. So what does that mean? That means that 25% of students who were admitted to the University Park campus had above a 3.90 on a 4.0 scale, and 25% of students admitted to the University Park campus had below a 3.55. So what I always tell students and families is that if you find yourself at the upper end of that range or above it, I think you're going to be pretty competitive as an applicant to the University Park campus. If you find yourself at the lower end of that range or below it, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be denied. It just means that you might want to be a little bit more flexible about your starting campus or starting term options. So that 2+2 plan that I talked about earlier, or considering that summer start at the University Park campus. And of course, you can see the other information here about SAT and ACT scores, both at University Park and at the Commonwealth campuses. What I want to underscore is these are not minimums or cutoffs. These are just number ranges for you to estimate where you might fall in the process as you're considering applying to Pennsylvania State University. So that's all I've got for right now. Please, we'd love to hear from you. All of our social media channels are there, as well as email, and hit that link for the visit experience. We've got lots of different ways for students and families to connect with us at Penn State. We look forward to a time when we can meet up with you in person on campus, but until then, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to connect with you virtually. Thanks.